Hi, this is Jack Schaub, and this is Chiller Service Advice, a videocast designed for the curious observer to the seasoned HVAC specialist. This is episode 8. What is a relief valve and why is it used in all refrigeration systems? Now, a relief valve is basically the last line of defense in all refrigeration systems, including chillers. Now, the primary purpose of a relief valve is to protect the system from overpressurizing, whereby conventional means, safeties, and others have failed. Now, relief valve is located on the discharge line of the system where the highest refrigerant pressure is usually found. And to give you an example, under normal operating situations with R410A refrigerant, whether it be your air conditioner at home or on a hot summer day or a chiller putting out 55-degree water, your normal operating pressures would be about 120 on the low side and 375 on the high. So if for some reason the high side pressure started to rise up, for whatever reason, eventually that pressure would reach a point where the high pressure safety, which is usually set for 410A right around 500, would trip. And it would stop the refrigerant system from running. It would lower the pressure so it did not become dangerously high. Someone would probably service the unit and find out why. But if, for some reason, the high pressure safety failed, or it wasn't adjusted properly, or let's say the contactor welded shut and the compressor just kept right on running, the refrigerant pressure is going to rise up and eventually reach a much higher point, and relief valves in the 410A refrigerant department ends up usually blowing probably around 600 psi. So what would happen is, if the conventional means didn't stop it, when it reached 600 psi, the refrigerant would blow out of the relief valve, reducing the pressure. Now here is a straight through relief valve, and it ends up having the threads at the bottom where it's screwed in, and on top is a flared fitting so that if you have to vent this to an outdoor area, you can. Now personally, I like to leave this cap on so that when I'm doing my preventative maintenance checks and I see that it is off, that means that somehow it blew. But basically it comes out the relief valve, and there's two different kinds. There's this kind, which is called the spring-loaded relief valve, and there's also rupture discs. Now the rupture discs are usually in smaller sealed refrigeration systems where when it blows, it lets off the entire charge. You have to replace it, find out what was wrong, and charge it back up. With the spring-loaded kind, which are like these, which is most of the time what I see on the larger pieces of equipment, is at 600, it'll relieve the pressure out. It'll keep relieving the pressure out until it gets down to probably about 100 or 150 psi below its blow rate, and it seals itself back off. Reason for that is so that if, let's just say you have a large carrier system or package unit with a lot of refrigerant in it, you don't want to end up losing the entire charge, re-evacuate, recharge, and do all that. It keeps some of the refrigerant that's inside the system. Now, there are a number of different kinds of places you can find the details of sizing of those relief valves, most of which I direct people to ASHRAE on the web, ASHRAE, and they can be able to show you sizing for a certain amount of refrigerants or the type of refrigerant that's out there. But above all, no matter what, if your relief valve does go, most important thing is to find out why. Because if the relief valve went, it means that other conventional means, such as the high pressure safety or other things, did not do their job. And if you put a new one in, it's just going to happen again. So I hope this helps, and I'll see you next time.